It was just another exhausting Wednesday night in Portland. Rain trickled down the windows of a small apartment shared by two college students, Leah and her roommate, Grace. Leah, a communications major, had pulled an all-nighter for her virtual ethics seminar. The Zoom call dragged into the early hours of the morning, filled with static discussion, half-asleep students, and a professor who didn't seem to realize no one was listening anymore. Grace had gone to bed around midnight. Leah was still on the call, eyes glazed, chin resting on her palm. By morning, the room was silent, but the faint hum of Leah's laptop buzzed through the air. Grace shuffled into the living room, stretching and yawning. The soft blue glow of the screen caught her eye. Zoom was still open. Leah's square was there. But Leah wasn't. At first, Grace assumed she had gone to the bathroom or stepped out. But her bag and phone were still on the desk. The chair was empty. Then Grace noticed something else. The background behind Leah's square had changed. It was no longer their living room. The image was dim, flickering with a yellowish hue. A stone wall. Pipes. Concrete floor. It looked like a basement. Grace leaned closer, heart thudding. That wasn't right. And then, from the shadows of the video feed, there was a sound. Breathing. Rough. Deep. Close to the microphone, but just off camera. Grace's skin went cold. She reached for the trackpad and clicked, "Leave meeting." The screen went black. For a second, she felt relief. Then, a message appeared. "You are now the host." The apartment grew colder as the message lingered on screen. Grace stared at it, confused. "You are now the host." What did that mean? Why was Leah still in the meeting if she wasn't even home? She reopened the laptop and joined the meeting again. There it was. Leah's square. Still active. Only now, the camera was angled differently. It was lower, tilted upward, almost as if it had fallen to the floor. In the corner of the screen, a bare foot twitched. Grace's heart stopped. She unmuted herself. "Leah? Leah, can you hear me?" Nothing. Just the static buzz of poor audio. Then, for one horrifying second, a face leaned into the frame. Not Leah. A man. Pale skin. Sunken eyes. Lips moving but no sound. And then, blackness. The feed cut out completely. Frantically, Grace called Leah's phone. It buzzed 3 feet away, untouched on the desk. She tried calling their professor, then the police, but she didn't know what to say. My roommate vanished during a Zoom call didn't exactly come across as urgent. Or sane. But she knew something was wrong. Deeply wrong. She opened the Zoom call again. This time, it asked for a passcode. A passcode that hadn't been needed before. When she typed Leah's student ID, something they often used for sign-ins, it worked. But what appeared on the screen was not a regular Zoom window. It was a black background, with a blinking white cursor. Then words began to type by themselves. "Welcome, host." The screen transformed into something else, lines of code. Surveillance footage. Glimpses of dozens of other webcams. Faces. Rooms. Dormitories. Offices. All live. One square was labeled Subject 217, Leah Montrose. Grace clicked it. A window opened, Leah, lying unconscious on a cement floor. The camera was fixed from above, grainy and gray. There was no sound, no movement except for the slow rise and fall of Leah's chest. A second window popped up, showing a man at a console of monitors, watching her. Then a third. Then a fourth. Dozens of subjects. Each square a person who had never left a Zoom call. Some had been gone for months. A text message appeared on the black window. "You're the host now, Grace. That means you choose who joins." Grace tried to shut the laptop, but it wouldn't close. The screen refused to turn off. Panic surged through her. She unplugged it. The battery kept running. Then she saw herself appear in a new window. Her own face, looking into the laptop camera. Another message. "It's your turn." The feed blinked. And the world around her went dark. When Grace awoke, she was lying on cold stone. Her breath came in puffs of steam. Pipes dripped above her. She tried to sit up but her limbs felt weighted, like her body was underwater. A faint light flickered from a broken monitor in the corner. On it, her own Zoom square blinked, her name below it. Then Leah's face appeared. She was awake now too, trapped across the room, her mouth gagged, eyes wide with fear. And standing between them, the man from the feed. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. As he reached for Grace's laptop, she could hear the soft ding of more people joining the meeting. On the screen, names appeared. People Grace knew. People she didn't. Random students. Strangers. One by one, their cameras turned on. Most didn't notice anything strange yet. They were just joining another call. Then they began to vanish too. One at a time. The message returned. "You are now the host. And the meeting will never end." Somewhere, in basements across the country, their faces flickered in and out. All caught in a meeting they'd never remember joining. And never leave.